Your inner critic knows all your weaknesses, and it talks like your voice, calm, precise, convincing. But here's the twist. It's not just whispering, it's strategizing, like a manipulative villain in a school uniform. And just like that, you're back at square one, scrolling, procrastinating, overthinking yourself into paralysis. Why? Because the person tearing you down the most is you. Let's be honest, it's not the haters on the internet, it's not your ex, it's not your strict parents, it's that voice in your head that says, you're not good enough, you'll mess it up. Why even try? And here's the kicker. It sounds just like you. Same tone, same logic, same fears. But what if you could flip the script? What if you could outsmart that critic? Like Ayanokōji outplays his entire classroom. Today, we're diving into 5 psychological tricks ripped straight from the classroom of the elite that turn your mental chaos into cold, calculated control. Ayanokōji doesn't scream, rage, or panic. He listens, he waits, then he wins. And you're about to do the same. Let's start the battle inside your own head. Ever wonder why Ayanokōji barely blinks when chaos erupts around him? No flinching, no panic, just silence. And those deadpan eyes. You think he's indifferent? Nah, he's observing, calculating. He's already 5 steps ahead before you even processed what happened. You walk into the gym. Someone grunts too loud, and suddenly you feel like an imposter. You question your form, your clothes, your existence. You start wondering if your shoelaces are tied wrong, like they're judging you too. Now replace gym with posting your art online, asking for a raise, speaking up in class. Every time something small goes wrong, your inner critic screams like it's DEFCON 1. Here's where the mask of indifference comes in. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius mastered it centuries ago. You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Translation: react later, think now. Season 1, Episode 12. Ayanokōji manipulates the class from the shadows. Everyone's panicking. He's calm, letting their emotions play into his plan. His lack of reaction isn't apathy, it's tactical silence. You're creating a video, you post it, it's cringe, you're cringe, take it down. You delete it before it even hits 10 views. Now imagine this. Instead of reacting in 2 seconds, you give yourself 10. You wait. You breathe. You let the thought pass. Like traffic, the world trains you to react, but reacting is weakness. The real power is in the pause. Here's what to do. The next time your inner critic strikes, use the 10-second rule. Don't answer right away. Just breathe and delay. That silence, that's you gaining ground in the war inside your head. You ever notice how your inner critic gets louder right when you're trying to sleep? Like, oh, you're cozy now? Time to relive every mistake you've ever made, starting with that one awkward thing you said in 8th grade. Yeah, that voice thrives in chaos, in noise, in reaction. So what happens when you don't feed it? You're lying in bed, big test tomorrow, or maybe a first date, or your brain's just decided, hey, let's overthink our life purpose real quick. Your thoughts spiral. What if I fail? What if they hate me? What if I'm just not enough? Instead of sleeping, you're trapped in a psychological WWE match against yourself. Here's where Ayanokōji drops his second trick: silence as a weapon. Stoics had a term for this too: ataraxia, a state of unshakable calm, even when the world's on fire. You don't fight noise with noise. You let it die of starvation. Season 2, Episode 3. Kushida tries to provoke Ayanokōji. Smiles, manipulates, presses buttons. She's fishing for a reaction. He gives her nothing, and that nothing, it destroys her. You're about to speak on stage. Your palms sweat, your mind races. You're gonna mess up. You always mess up. Run. What if instead you just sat with it? No response, no panic, just silence. Use your breath like a shield. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. Let the thoughts pass. Or at least let them float by like those weird thoughts you get in the shower. You know the ones. Because silence isn't weakness. It's resistance. It's defiance in its purest form. Your critics want to fight. Don't show up. Try this. Before sleep, before an interview, before the voice starts screaming, go ghost. Breathe. Don't engage. Don't argue. Just observe. Let the thought dissolve. That stillness, that's you winning a battle without lifting a finger. Failure doesn't mean you're done. It means you just became invisible, and that's a power move. Because Ayanokōji, he fails on purpose. He hides behind average test scores and blank stares, while he plays everyone like a 4D chess master. You're thinking failure makes you weak, but what if it's just a setup? You bomb a presentation, miss the deadline, get rejected by someone you actually liked. Suddenly, your brain spirals. Maybe I'm just not good at this. I'm not built for success. I'm a fraud. You start believing the story failure tells you, that you're not enough, that everyone else is miles ahead, and boom, your inner critic wins again. But what if you looked at failure like a surveillance mission? In cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, they call this cognitive reframing, taking a thought like, I failed, and flipping it into, this is data, what can I use? Psychologist Carol Dweck coined the term growth mindset for people who treat setbacks as feedback, not final results. Failure isn't rejection, it's reconnaissance. Watch how Ayanokōji lets his classmates think he's mediocre. He tanks his test scores, hides behind a crowd, all while quietly gathering intel, learning patterns, and striking when no one sees it coming. He's not scared of being underestimated. He weaponizes it. You finally post that podcast episode, 10 views. 2 of them are your mom, and she didn't even finish the episode. You delete the channel. Tell yourself, I'm not cut out for this, but here's what you missed. Those 10 views, that's 10 people you reached. That awkward delivery, that's experience logged. That cringe feeling, that's growth. Knocking. Most people fail once and stop. But Ayanokōji, he fails strategically. He trades short-term ego wins for long-term domination. And if you're serious about growth, you gotta be willing to look like a loser while secretly building a win. Next time you screw up, ask, what can I extract from this? Treat every flop like a scouting mission. Your goal isn't to look perfect. It's to gather intel, adapt, and come back sharper. Because real power isn't found in never failing. It's in never wasting a failure. The most dangerous thing your inner critic does, it doesn't insult you, it doesn't shout, it frames your world. Suddenly, a bad moment becomes a bad life. A setback becomes proof you're not built for this. An awkward silence. They hate you. But what if the critic is just a terrible director and you're the one holding the camera? You wake up late. Not end of the world late, just enough to feel like a sentient mistake. Boom. Your critic goes, you're lazy. You always mess up. This is why you'll never win. One event framed as a failure, a flaw, an identity. Now your whole day feels off. Not because anything actually happened, but because the frame was wrong. This is the framing effect, a psychology principle. It shows how the way a situation is presented completely changes how you respond. 2 people miss the same deadline. One thinks, I'm doomed. The other, good intel. Let's adjust. Same reality, different frame, different power. Now watch Ayanokōji. He never reacts to how others frame him. They call him average. He lets them. They underestimate him. Perfect. Because he knows the truth. Whoever frames the scene controls the game. Season 1. Horikita tries to make him look weak. He doesn't defend himself. He lets her believe it, then bends the situation quietly from behind the scenes. You walk into a party. You don't know anyone. Your critic says, you're awkward. You don't belong here. You're the weird one. That's the frame. But here's how you flip it. This isn't a popularity contest. It's recon. This isn't about approval. It's about presence. I'm not here to be impressive. I'm here to be observant. Now the pressure drops. Now you're in control. Your critic can't attack your soul, so it attacks the stage. It rewrites the scene you're standing in until it feels hostile, claustrophobic, overwhelming. But when you change the frame, suddenly you're not trapped. You're in command. Every time your critic speaks, pause. Ask, wait, what frame am I in? Then change it. Redefine the moment. Recast the role you're playing. You don't need a new voice. You need a new lens. Because when you control the frame, you control everything. You know who never crumbles under pressure? Someone who doesn't believe in pressure. That's Ayanokōji's secret weapon. He treats every test, confrontation, betrayal like it's just another simulation. Before a presentation, your critic screams, "Don't mess this up. You'll ruin everything. You got one shot." Now your heart's racing, your brain locks up. You can't even remember your own name, let alone the first line. Dr. Cyan Balak, author of Choke, found that pressure chokes working memory. But when people reframe moments as low-stakes simulations, they relax. Performance goes up. Cognitive function improves. You outsmart the critic because the critic has no threat to feed on. Final exams, group betrayals, Ayanokōji treats them like practice scenarios. No panic, no drama, just controlled reps. Every move, training for something bigger. You ask someone out, they say no. They hit you with a, haha, anyway, and now your ego's in witness protection. Old frame, I'm unlovable. New frame, cool, that was a rep. Next one, I'll be smoother. You're not failing. You're collecting XP. This is how elite performers stay sharp under pressure. They de-escalate the stakes on purpose. Everything is a sandbox. Everything is practice. And when nothing is do or die, you stop dying inside. The next time your inner critic says, "This is your one chance," say back, "This is one rep in 1,000. Then move like it. Your critic feeds on urgency. Starve it with nonchalance. Your inner critic, it's only as strong as the attention you give it. It feeds on reaction, on panic, on perfectionism. But now you've got tools. You've got the mask of indifference. You've got silence as a weapon. You've got reframing, control, detachment. You're not fighting your critic anymore. You're outmaneuvering it like a ninja in philosophy class. Because the critic only wins if you play defense. You play offense. Like Ayanokōji. Now go rewrite the story in your head.